Private distribution of securities. The distribution of shares of stock, of bonds, or of any other sort of securities can be done in a private or public manner. Everywhere in the world, any distribution of securities is highly regulated by the legal order. This arises from the very nature of the security that incorporates a right or an obligation on a support, but whose neither quality nor value nor problems can be determined by examining it. Traditionally, it is a certificate, a document made out of thick, secure paper, but with the evolution of the stock markets and stock exchanges that followed those of information technologies answering to the need to accelerate the speed of transaction, the support has dematerialized to become first a register and then a database. However, in the private distribution world, the security is either always a certificate or a register of shareholders or of bondholders, held by the issuing company of the securities in question called issuer. The issuer, products and services he proposes, the markets it addresses, the securities intended to be sold to the investors to be financed, the risks the issuer incurs and those that the investors will incur by purchasing these securities must be assembled into a disclosure prospectus, sometimes called private offering memorandum and other times private placement memorandum. It should be clear that that last designation is both more frequent and more ancient. Today, the regulator recommends its use in case of securities issued by a public company, that means listed on a stock market but distributed privately. In the much more rare case where private distribution aims at the resale or at the total or partial liquidation of the participation of a shareholder or of the bonds of a creditor, the distribution is made through the prospectus called private distribution memorandum. This exceptional case is a situation of distribution on the secondary market, that is, whose proceeds of the sales goes to a third-party shareholder or creditor and not to the issuer as on the primary market. In insider jargon, they are referred to by their acronyms POM, PPM, and PDM. The essential rules of private distribution. 1. Any securities private or public distribution must be done on the base of a prospectus. 2. Potential investors solicited must belong to a category called accredited investors. It can be simply defined by saying they must either be professional or rich, because it allows them to hire the services of a professional. 3. The person who presents the opportunity of investment, called broker, must be a director or an employee of the issuer or a registered financial intermediary such as securities broker, trader, investment banker, commercial banker, financial advisor, fund manager, and so forth. 4. The broker may not use arguments that are not included in the prospectus. 5. The broker is not allowed to sell a financial return or a valuation result by saying your investment will be doubled within X number of years. 6. The broker may not personally or through a third party guarantee the investment by committing to reimburse or to compensate totally or partially the potential loss the investor might incur. 7. The broker is not allowed to convince the investor by offering him or her promotional gifts or by retroceding all or part of his commission. 8. The broker may not sell in conditions other than those described in the prospectus and mainly not sell at a different price from the one stated in the prospectus. 9. The broker is strictly forbidden to remunerate an investor's advisor or any person directly or indirectly participating in his decision process. 10. The broker may not amend or complete the prospectus, draft other securities sales documents, or use third parties' ones. 11. The broker may not warranty the investor an exit deadline. 12. The broker is not allowed to use news from the issuer as a term of investment. An example, the issuer having officially announced its initial public offering for a given period, the broker uses this news release as a proof to the investor that he or she will be able to liquidate his or her participation during this period. 13. The broker may not argue about the amount of securities sold to induce the investor to invest, especially by putting pressure because there are only a few securities left. 14. The broker may use the name of some investors of reference, but may not neglect the aspect of suitability requirements of an investment for one specific investor.